Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and what an exciting start to the stream we've had already, because as you will be aware, the software froze just before going live and it took about 7 minutes, and then it moved a little bit more, and then I clicked on close to close the software, and then it froze for about another 7 minutes. So I think we probably did start at about 1:15. So congratulations to those of you in the live chat room while we were all waiting for the software to sort itself out. Whoever said 1:15 was correct, and you don't win anything unfortunately, but I said about 13 minutes past. That's what I predicted when I was just looking at the software frozen, not moving. But it seems like tonight's live stream is going to be a bit random, because All I did was close the software, start up the software again, and this is what it's running as at the moment. We will see if it continues for the whole live stream. I will be very surprised because I know that I've got to click on things inside the software, and when I did that before, it just froze and I haven't restarted the computer. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Let me have a little jump into the live chat room. Let's see if this works. And it has done. It's come up on screen and it's still loading, which is good. And we have Lisa and Medicine Man Billy, Carl, Bev, Gina, Roberta, Janai, and Grumpy Old Bob 56, Dwayne, Laurie, and Frank. Hello everybody, I can see just Lynn about to go through there as well. Thank you for joining me and for waiting patiently in that live chat room before we started. So I'm going to be clicking on all of these buttons and see if there's one that I click on and then it freezes. You'll know because I will freeze on the screen, but we will see. And the reason, by the way, that I couldn't do a total shutdown of my computer and then restart it is because in order to get everything on screen, I set it up beforehand. Every single live stream, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to set it up to then go live, because everything that you see on the screen is unique to each live stream. I can't just leave it all set up from one night to then, say for example, Saturday night's live stream. Everything on the screen is going to be in a different place when I do it on Tuesday, because I'm closing down the computer, I'm starting up again, and then I have to screen capture everything that I need. So, for example, this is a screen capture here. And let me just get my patrons up on screen as well. That has loaded. So, I think probably one of the things that seemed to just push it over the edge was adding to the screen the 194,000 subscriber stream. I wrote that, just that little bit of text just pushed it over the edge, but it has loaded up now, which is great. So anyway, when I'm talking about the screen captures, another thing that I'm capturing from the screen is that the likes goal. That's taken from this other window that I've got running in Chrome. So like I said, all of these things I have to capture and set up beforehand. If I did restart my computer, it would take me another 45 minutes to set it all up. And I didn't want to do that because it means then the stream would last for 15 minutes. Whereas I wanted to get as much stream in as possible tonight. So let me just address the donations that have come in. And I think there's a donation that came in very early on from Orlando over in the Super Chat window. And it was Orlando who donated $2, so thank you for that, Orlando. And the message was, I will be late, but there, spike the likes with lots of rock horns, or just one rock horn. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Orlando might actually join just exactly when we start, because we are a little bit late tonight. But everything will continue as normal. We have our pick roulette coming up later on. We have a couple of pictures to look at, and the voting, at least you guys have had a little bit longer maybe to vote on the cover for tonight, which will be either In My Dreams or Parisian Walkways. And at the moment, looking at my screen, it looks like In My Dreams has 54% of the vote. So it is a bit of a close one. You can click on that poll to have your vote to see which one we're going to have a look at later. Pick your favourite out of those two particular songs. Right, let me just adjust this on the screen. I'm constantly waiting for it to crash, but it's still fine. We are pretty much there, I think, with the live chat room. Maybe I should risk getting the donations thing up on screen as well. That's worked. To let you know, 35 to 45% of the donations through the Super Chat window go to YouTube, and 3 to 5% goes to PayPal when you use the PayPal window as well. So thank you for the donations already tonight from Orlando. I can see that a couple more have come through in the Super Chat window, but also in the PayPal donations window. I'm just going to address a donation that we had in there earlier on. I think it was today, or it might have been, it was technically today, very early this morning, from Janice. So thank you for that, Janice. Let me see if I can get this up on screen and see if it works. It seems to be okay at the moment. So Janice donated £17.43. Thank you for that, Janice. And the message was, hi from Texas, could I ask for you to analyse Garth Brooks' Thunder Rolls or any of his songs. So thank you for that, Janice, and I will add that to my request list, but thank you for that donation. And because that was a little bit of a while ago, like I said, very early this morning, it means that I've had other emails that have come through since then. So I'm just going to skip over those to make sure that we get up to date with tonight. And it looks like Deborah has also donated, and this was at 10:15 earlier today or earlier tonight. So thank you for this, Deborah. And it's a donation for £5. Thank you for that. And the message was, congratulations upon reaching 194,000 subscribers. Spike the like and rock on. Great idea there from Deborah. And I didn't even give a plug to the mug when we said about Orlando's donation, but there it is. Spike the likes. Great idea by Orlando, Deborah, and the mug. If you get a chance to hit that thumbs up, it would be much appreciated. We are at 169 likes so far. And what are we aiming for? Let's see if this breaks the system or not. And we're still working. It is 310 tonight. That's what we're aiming for. A very big target. That's going to be 141 for 310. If we've got 169, it's gone to 170, so that makes it easier. That's 140, I think, that we're looking for. So if there are 140 people that are going to just enter the live chat room with all of us before the end of the live stream and hits the thumbs up, then we can have a pick roulette next week as well, but we do have one tonight, so don't panic. And let's throw this out to the live chat room. Who is going to be our top tip for tonight's pick roulette? If anybody feels like sacrificing themselves for tonight's pick roulette, then just write it in the live chat room now. I will keep an eye on the live chat room to see who goes through there as the first top tip. We have Jill, Orlando. Oh, Neil's going through there moderating. A huge shout out to the moderators as always. We have Neil in there and Carla and Laurie, who are the moderators on the live streams. So thank you guys for those. For that. But thank you for those comments that you are organising and keeping on top of. So you can see their names in blue going through the live chat room. And it's going through a little bit quickly. Okay, Corey says me. So I'm going to make a note of that Corey is the top tip for tonight's pick roulette. So that has been locked in. So Corey, and I'm going to see Carla, who's a moderator going through, who has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Carla. And the message is, can you turn Susan and Dennis Cook to blue with a wrench, pretty please, thanks. So thank you for that, Carla. And that is something that it is going to be risky doing that live and getting the computer to load the fact that I'm accessing Chrome while the software is running. So it might be the case that I can try it during maybe when the cover video is playing, but if the cover video freezes and the live stream stops, then you know exactly what I'm trying to do in the background. I will attempt to do that at some point during that video. So we will see. At the moment, everything is working and running fine. But thank you for that, Carla. I'll try and do that later. And Stan has donated $5 as well in the Super Chat window. Thank you for that, Stan. And the message is, I will just be saying hello, everyone, since the chat moves fast. But I know you all are here, and of course, hello, Phil. So hello, Stan. Thank you for joining us tonight and for that donation. And I'm sure everyone will say hello to Stan in the live chat room as well. If this is your first live stream, anybody in that live chat room, just introduce yourself to the live chat room. That's how it all works. That's how we all get to know each other. And I recognize all of these names going through. Thank you as well, Wizard of Frobos, who has donated $15. Thank you for that. And the message is, small thanks for your massive contributions to the music world. So thank you for that. And for just watching the channel, and especially for tuning in during this live stream, because the live streams are just something a little bit different for the channel, a little bit different from the analysis videos. We cover all kinds of stuff, really, from hair to workout regimes and routines, and yes, sometimes more like a regime than a routine, but just really updating you guys on what's going on with the channel, the news, showing some pictures, doing a pick roulette, giving away a signed Wings of Pegasus pick to somebody, and also picking a top tip to somebody who's not going to win, because I've got a 0% winning streak at the moment, and that's not really even a streak. It's just a 0% winning percentage. But let me just mention about the news on the channel. I know that I do update you guys over on Patreon every night. When I don't do an analysis video, I do update videos over there, so you guys are obviously in the loop and you know all of the news before I say the news on the live streams. But to everybody else, I have been chatting with June Millington from the band Fanny, and we were due to do an interview / analysis video on Friday, but we kind of got a little bit lost as to the dates, unfortunately. June got a little bit confused and wasn't sure what the day was, so it meant that we miss out on Friday and therefore on Sunday of that particular video. But I did make an analysis video on Sunday instead, and that was on Elvis Presley, so check that one out if you do get a chance. So what we are going to be doing is, June has been in touch and has let me know that, yeah, it just unfortunately got a little bit lost in translation as to which day was which. So we're going to be reorganizing it in the future, and June has given me her dates for this month and next month as to when she's available and when she's not available, and we're going to make double sure that we know exactly what the date is, exactly what the day is, and exactly what the time is for the next time that we are scheduling to meet up. So I'm going to be getting in touch with June. She's given me all of the dates, and I've got to sit down and work out my schedule and see when I can fit everything in, because it's also got to be coordinated with Martin from Studio Hamburg, because he's got to unblock the video that we're looking at from Beat Club when we do our analysis, so when I upload it, you guys can see it and it doesn't get blocked. And even worse, my my channel, YouTube channel, won't get a copyright strike, and that's something that I definitely don't want to happen, but fortunately Martin can sort that out. So this is why it did take quite a long time to organize in the first place, because I'm organizing 3 things at once, and also getting the software to just work as I want it to. I mean, these live streams are a little bit more complicated, but what I'm going to be doing for the joint analysis, that's what I'm aiming to do with June, because it means that she's now said in an email that she's going to be having probably her Les Paul out so that we can do a joint analysis of her performance. And it's going to be the first time that I've ever attempted something like that, and that's why it took a long time to organise the first time, so it's a bit of a shame that it didn't go ahead. But it means that I've got to make sure that June can hear me, June can see the video that I'm watching, and I can hear what June's playing and what she's saying, and June can hear what I'm playing on my guitar. So there's a lot of inputs, a lot of outputs to try and organize to make sure that when I then record it on my screen, that you guys can hear everything that's going on as we hear it. So that means that you're going to have to hear me, my guitar, the video, see the video, hear June, and hear June's guitar. So that's 6 things that I've got to try and wire up to make sure that you guys can hear it, because more often than not there'll be a reason why, and maybe a reason that I don't even understand why, a guitar can't be heard, or a vocal can't be heard, or we can't hear the audio and the video. So this is why it was a lot of time. It took me a couple of days to work out all of the inputs and the outputs to make sure that when I recorded it, I could hear everything that I wanted to hear on the screen. In the final recorded screen grab that I was doing out of the software that I was using. So yes, very complicated to do it all pretty much in that live setting when I'm going to be talking to June, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to work. Obviously, I'm going to make sure and go through the whole process again to do a dummy run to make sure that it all works when we then get together in the future, but that should be possibly before the end of this month or very early next month. I think it's going to be maybe a couple of weeks time. That's where I'm kind of aiming to get it organized for, but look out for that. So just to let you know that yes, everything's fine with June, and we're going to try and reorganize for the future. And yes, that's the other thing, that we have passed 194,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for hitting that subscribe button and hitting that notification bell as well, hitting that thumbs up, and 205. That means we're looking for 105 more people to hit that thumbs up during this live stream, and all of these thumbs up during the live stream really does help the channel to grow on the whole. It helps these live streams to get out there, but also for the other videos to get out there a little bit more as well. The analysis videos, such as the one that I did on Sunday looking at Elvis, which was a bit of a mission as well, because that one got blocked on copyrights, and I had to re-edit it a couple of times. So yeah, that was again another video that was released a little bit late. I try and aim for a 2 a.m. release time here in the UK, and that's if everything goes well. When it doesn't go well and things are blocked and I have to re-edit, it usually takes about an hour or an hour and a half longer, because I have to go back to the whole Final Cut Pro 10. If you are a video editor, that's what I use to edit my videos. I have to go back to that and then re-render the video, because then I have to change it. So yeah, it takes a little bit longer. So that one on Sunday did take a little while, but it is out and it's on there now, just with the image blurred, because the audio was okay. Obviously, it's exactly the same as every other video, with the audio being copyright claimed. So it means that adverts get put on that particular video, and the copyright owner and the publishing company, usually who work for the record label, take that revenue. So they place adverts on it, but at least we get to hear it. But on this case, or in this case, the video was the part that was blocked, so it meant that I couldn't show Elvis or any of the moving footage. We just had to listen to it, which was fine, but unfortunately it just means you've got to put up with looking at me and not Elvis Presley. So that's very unfortunate for you, but at least we got to hear the song. Anyway, let's have a look at where we are. Because we did start a little bit late tonight, we're going to have to move things along with the live stream. It's 20 to 1 here in the morning. So what we'll have a look at is the vote in the chat window. Let me have a look at that. 53% is In My Dreams at the moment. I thought it might be Parisian Walkways, but it's In My Dreams that is winning the Dokken Classic. So have a quick vote in there if you haven't voted already, because we are rolling on towards playing this particular cover, because we might have to move things along a little bit more quickly in this live stream. But anyway, oh, Deborah, thank you for that donation. Let me just scroll up and get back into that window, because I think we had another one in there. And Mark has donated £15 as well. Thank you for that, Mark. And the message is, I don't need the shout out. Better to pay you than pay YouTube. Thanks again. So thank you for that, Mark. And this is just something that I do anyway. Any donation and message on there, I make sure that I do address on the live stream while I'm live. I have missed one in the past. I think it was quite a while ago now, that probably, I don't know, time seems to go so quickly. It's probably about a year ago that I missed one. So I want to make sure that I don't miss any messages and PayPal donations as well, and the super chat donations. So it's just something that I do like to address, because I mean, I'm just buzzing that you guys join me on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night, but the fact that you are kind enough to donate your hard-earned money as well is very much appreciated. So I want to make sure that I do just address everybody that does donate, but also to say a huge thank you to you guys for joining me on these live streams and just getting together in this live setting, because it is different to the analysis videos where I do read all of your comments and I mark them. As you guys know, if you've been watching for any length of time, you'll know that I do go through all of the comments and I mark all of them to show you guys that I have read them, because there are some messages in there that might be requests, so I make sure that I put those on my request list. And this is why my request list is very long indeed, because I make a note of all of the requests once I mark that particular comment in the comment section. So This is another thing that you'll notice about my comment sections, is that any comment that hasn't been marked, it means that I haven't read that yet, but I will get to it. I just kind of do it in blocks. Obviously, when I'm doing things like this and I'm live, I can't be reading through the comments on YouTube. So this is why there will be blocks of them that haven't yet been marked, but I will get to those. I do get through those day by day and try and get up to date with them by the time I go to bed and then start another day in the morning. Then I can just crack on with it. But that is what I do, and that's why all of those comments are marked in the comment section. But anyway, let's have a little look at this vote, and it looks like it's In My Dreams by Dokken that is going to be the cover video for tonight. I've clicked on it to end the poll, and we will see what the official result is. And it's coming through as In My Dreams, 53%, Parisian Walkways, 46%. So thank you guys for voting on that one. And it looks like we are still live. I'm just expecting it to start loading again. So let me see if I can load up this video and maybe try and do that thing in the live chat room for Susan and Dennis to see if it's going to work or not. But if Susan and Dennis can do a comment, that would be much appreciated, so that I can see your name and then maybe click on it in order to try and see if I can do the moderator thing or not. I don't know if it's going to work. If the whole live stream freezes, then that is why. But fingers crossed that the video plays first of all, and then fingers crossed that it doesn't all freeze in a minute when I do that. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Thank you for voting for it. It's In My Dreams by Dokken, my version of it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! In my dreams, it's still the same. Your love is strong, it still remains. Toss and turn all night in the sheets, and I can't sleep. Night after night, I don't know what it means. In my dreams, what can I say or do? You won't come back when you're through. Not realize too late that baby your love has turned away. In my dreams, it's still the same. Your And there we have it. That was my version of, in my dreams, the Dokken Classic. Can't beat a bit of Dokken. And it's been a while since I've listened to that song. And I think I'm going to have to check that out probably after the live stream, now that that was chosen for the cover. But yes, anyway, I mean, just taking on Don Dokken and George Lynch as well on guitar is probably not a wise idea, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, my version of it. So let's get the PayPal donations up on stream, because I think one has just popped in there. So let's jump over to that. And Steve has donated £5. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, what are the advantages / disadvantages to playing the guitar like Jeff Healey? So thank you for that, Steve. And for those of you that don't know, Jeff Healey was blind, so it meant that Jeff played the guitar on his lap. And the advantages to playing it on your lap is that you get the stretch. It means that you can stretch a lot further on the fretboard of the guitar. And it's something that when you've learned to play, if you've learned to play traditionally and you can see, then changing to play like that, you have to totally learn how to play the guitar again, because pull-offs, hammer-ons, obviously you'll know how to achieve the techniques, but you have to teach your muscle memory how to do it. So to give an example, when you're playing the guitar, this is going to be my makeshift guitar neck, because obviously holding up a guitar neck and an actual guitar here, I haven't got space. But if you imagine that this is your guitar neck and I'm playing the guitar here with my left hand and I stretch, that's as far as I'm going to go. Hopefully you guys can see that. So when I'm stretching my fingers out from the little finger to the first finger, that's how far I can stretch on the fretboard of this particular guitar. Now, if I flip it over, what can you, well, that's, you can see pretty much the gap from my little finger here to the first finger here, and I'm not even really covering, what's that, probably about half, maybe 3/4, but not really stretching across that. So now if I were to play over the top of the guitar, like this, and now we look at my stretch, I'm covering pretty much the whole, because I can play with my thumb here, I could press down the string with my thumb, and I can't even get it on the screen. I can push down with my little finger. So it means that my stretch now has become the length of this, rather than here, you know, getting, if I take it all the way down to one side, rather than half of it. So you can see how much you've gained with that little finger. As much as you might work on flexibility, this is actually quite a good example where players who do have larger hands, they say, oh, don't, and I've experienced this in the past, people have commented saying, if you do enough exercise and work on your flexibility, you will be able to make the stretches as all the other players. It's just your flexibility. You can see that with my hand here, with my little finger, there's no way that I'm getting to the end of this pencil case. Look at that. It's so far off. No amount of flexibility training of my left hand is going to allow me to make that stretch. And this is why I always say on my videos about genetics being such a huge part of how you play, because there will be other players such as Steve Vai, for example, who has a very large hand. I mean, he's just a really tall guy anyway. Paul Gilbert as well. We're talking about, what, 6'4", maybe, in terms of his height, and he's got big hands. So it means that I wouldn't doubt that he can make this stretch with his left hand. But genetically, I can't make those stretches. And, I mean, this is all becoming relevant. It wasn't planned like this, but the video that I have just shown, my cover of In My Dreams by Dokken, George Lynch, the guitarist, has a large hand span, and he's got bigger hands than I have. And I know because I've met him in real life. So he can make a stretch where on my video I'm tapping with my right hand, where he can stretch with his left hand. So it means that I have adapted my playing in order to get the same sound that he does with his stretching and his playing, but I genetically can't play it the same way that he can, but I've worked out how to do it myself. And this is it. You've just got to try and work out a way for you to do it with your own genetics, with your own hand. And he would be another example of a guy who would be able to stretch the length of this where I can't stretch the length of that. And no amount, even if my little finger went horizontally, it's still going to finish here. It's never going to get any further than that at the end of the pencil case. So that's actually quite a good demonstration of how it doesn't matter how much flexibility you work on, you will get to a limit where your finger you'll get as far as you can that way, as far as you can that way, and your hand span is going to stop there. And just bringing it back to what Steve asked about the way of playing over the top of the guitar like Jeff Healey did, it means that you have that stretch that you can make if you've got smaller hands. But imagine the stretch, then somebody who's got larger hands than me, imagine how far they'd be able to go over the top of the guitar. So again, they'd still have that advantage. And this is why it is so important just to play guitar your own way and not get too hung up on guitarists that you're watching or even textbooks that you're reading and you can't reach a particular note, or you struggle to do something that you can see in the textbook. And I did mention this on a recent video that I did, that every textbook assumes that your hands are the same size as the drawing that they're giving you in order to demonstrate it. So I say all the time, just play the way that you can and don't get disappointed and not being able to play the same exact way as another guitarist, because they might physically have bigger hands than you. They might even have smaller hands than you. So it means that they can fit their hand into a position that you can't get your hands into or your fingers into because they're too big. So this is it. You get advantages, disadvantages to having small hands and big hands. There'll be some things that guys with really big hands and big fingers can't play, in the same way that there'll be things that you can't play if you've got smaller hands. And I generally find that fretting chords and getting cleaner chord sounds is something that is easier with smaller hands, because your fingers physically and literally don't take up as much space on the fretboard as somebody whose hands are fatter or thicker. With the tip of their finger, it might be thicker, so it means that they might be leaning on strings, they might be fretting strings accidentally. So this is why it's important just to learn to play how you can for your genetics, and don't get hung up on not being able to play exactly the same as somebody else. But like I've just said in that cover video that I did, there are ways around it. You can work at tapping on your right hand and bring your right hand up to your left hand. If you can't reach with the little finger, you can put it in with the right hand. So yeah, there's ways around it. You can manipulate your techniques. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. And this is just one of those things that I could talk about for years, but let's have a little scroll up, because Orlando has donated £1.45 as well. And thank you for that, Orlando. Again, the message is, Dokken is one of my all-time favourite hair metal bands. I wish there not so much turmoil in the band. Specifically, there was bad blood between Don Dokken and George Lynch. So thank you for that, Orlando. And this is something that I was talking, it was me and Griff. I think you guys, if you're regular viewers, would have seen Griff on the live stream a few weeks ago, because we played his first single with his brother that he recorded, and that's called Cleopatra, and they're called the Brothers Griff. But anyway, it was Griff and I that were talking with George Lynch in London. He was coming down to do a gig, so we spoke to him in the pub, and this was at the World's End. If any of you guys know London, we were talking to him at the World's End pub, which is above the Underworld, which is the venue underneath where George was playing, and it's where I have been seen playing in the past. But we were talking with George, and yeah, he was talking about relationships in bands, and it's just interesting that Orlando mentions that, because yeah, he just went into how I think just singers he didn't get on with, and certainly yeah, for some reason yeah, there's a lot of turmoil and a lot of disagreements in Dokken. But then when you got into Lynch Mob as well, I think George Lynch had the same kind of setup there. And Yeah, that was Only Logan, I believe, who was the singer, and for Lynch Mob, and yeah, he and Oni didn't see eye to eye. He actually said that he punched Only Logan in the face after a live gig once because Oni just couldn't hit the notes and his voice was really fatigued, and it was just really interesting to have a chat with George about all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, just such a unique player in his own right, George Lynch, and just a fantastic player, technically amazing as well. So yeah, thank you Orlando for that. But yeah, just reminded me of that particular conversation. But thank you for those donations very early on. What we'll do is we are at 5 to 1 here in the morning. We did start late, so I'm going to try and squeeze in as much as I can to the live stream, which means we're going to jump over to some pictures, and things could get stuck because I know that I'm going to have to now access the software because I go to a different place in order to grab whatever I'm going to grab with the pictures. There are a couple of pictures, so fingers crossed this is going to work. I'm going to put the background up on screen and hopefully it's going to work, but if it freezes then it's just the software. There's not a lot I can do about it, but let's see what happens. First of all, let me see the software. I can see is still working, and here we go. We're going to try and access the software. Let's see if this works, and 3, 2, 1. There, can you still hear me? We should have Pam up on screen modeling the Wings of Pegasus hoodie. So thank you for that, Pam. If this is still working, fingers crossed it is. And we just have one more picture as well, and this is going to be Lisa, who has just uploaded the picture of her Wings of Pegasus signed CD, the mug there as well, the Spike the Likes mug, the Wings of Pegasus pick tin, with the Wings of Pegasus signed pick there as well, with a picture of some guy holding a guitar. But also there are other pics there that were mentioned, I do believe, and I think there was Ario's Speedwagon was one of those, and Whitesnake. Oh, here we go. I can see it. Whitesnake, Poison, Cheap Trick as well. I think that's all of them. And of course, Wings of Pegasus. I'm not sure whether I've got through all of them there, but there's a Kiss one as well. I can see the Kiss. Is the Kiss one on the left-hand side? It's really small for me to make out, but thank you so much for uploading, well, those two pictures, but thank you, Pam and Lisa, for uploading those pictures. It is much appreciated, and maybe we can get rid of the picture again to get back to me. Fingers crossed. Here we go. We are still live. I don't know how this is working so far, and we haven't frozen, but let's see how far we can get. Technically, we've got 15 minutes left of the live stream. So what I might do is, I know that there was a request for a Phil Toon over on Patreon. I feel like I shouldn't try to jump between the windows too much on all of the other like the Chrome window. I've also got a Safari window open, which is where the Patreon page is. I'm going to click on that to just have a quick look at that, and it was Maria who did request a Phil Toon, and it was the Italian that has been requested. So what I'm thinking of doing is jumping into the pick roulette as the software is working, and we'll have a look at that. We'll see if Corey is going to win or not. Probably not, because she is the top tip for tonight. But let's jump into it while everything's working. Try and fit in as much as we can. I will get into the super chat donations. I can see that a few have come in there as well. So thank you guys for those. But let's jump into the pick roulette and see what happens. I'll see you guys in a second, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Rock! So let's try and get the pick roulette screen on screen. The pick roulette wheel on screen. There it is. And let's see if we can actually make out Corey's name anywhere on this wheel. I can never spot anybody. I tell you what, let me give myself a bit more of a chance. I'll shuffle 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we do, just to make sure it's totally random. And I still haven't seen Corey go through yet. But anyway, the hearts you can see on the wheel, those are the t-shirts. So if we land on one of those, we're going to have another spin of the t-shirt roulette. It's a totally different wheel that we go to. So we haven't landed on one yet, but if we go to a t-shirt roulette, it means that somebody's going to win the custom bleached signed Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. But anyway, let's give this a spin and see who is going to win. And 0% record so far with the top tip, but we'll see if we can actually get Corey winning tonight. Let's see, it's slowing down. See if I can pick out any names. Right, Fred going through there, t-shirt's just gone through. Ben, Chris, Jill is going past, and Brenda, Ginny, Sandra, Lucy, Rebecca. Hang on, it says t-shirt, and it's gonna stop on a t-shirt, is it? Okay, so what are the chances of when the software is not working very well, we land on a t-shirt, which means I'm gonna have to load up another wheel. And hang on, so let's do, I don't know what happens. It means that when we do, so we're going to definitely have a t-shirt roulette. So let's remove that because we've got to find a winner for the pick roulette. So let me spin it again and see who is going to win the pick roulette. And then we're going to see who wins the t-shirt roulette afterwards. And I'm going to have to load up the other wheel, and I'm going to have to go to Facebook in order to do that, but hopefully it won't take too long. I might be able to switch back to me and then get back to the t-shirt roulette wheel afterwards. But anyway, here we go all the way through. Now, I wonder if it's going to land on the t-shirt again. That would be unbelievable. And it looks like it might be Dan, or it might be... What are the chances of that? That is unbelievable. We've never landed on a t-shirt, and now we've landed on one twice. So, congratulations, the t-shirt. Let's have another spin. What are the odds of landing on a t-shirt twice in a row, having not landed on a t-shirt for how many months? Maybe even a year. It might even be a year that we haven't landed on one. Anyway, here we go. So, another t-shirt. That's okay. Now, if it happens 3 times in a row, we all need to go and buy some lottery tickets. Okay, it looks like it is past it. So, we are going to land on somebody. And it's almost Deborah. Is it going to be Carla? This is unbelievable. Carla, who organises the t-shirt roulette, has had some kind of... I don't know what, some kind of gremlin running into the system to not only land on 2 t-shirts, but for Carla herself to win a t-shirt. That is unbelievable. So anyway, congratulations, Carla. You are the winner of one of your pick roulettes. And if Carla, you can make yourself known to yourself in the live chat room, that would be fantastic, so that Carla, you can send yourself a signed Wings of Pegasus pick, and also send yourself a picture of some guy holding the guitar. That is unbelievable. So let me just try and organize what I need to organize now to get the t-shirt roulette up on screen. So let me change the screen. Let me jump back to Carla's message. Hopefully this is going to work. And I'm going to the t-shirt wheel now. It's loading. And I'm just going to scroll to make sure it's centralized because it's moved. And we even get in the middle of the wheel the t-shirt with my signature on it. How exciting. Okay, let's get the background back up on screen. Let's get the t-shirt roulette up on screen, and we are now gonna just shuffle the names 5 times. This is the first time, everybody, we have seen the t-shirt roulette wheel. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's no chance of landing on a t-shirt segment now because all of you guys are in with a chance of winning. Here we go. Let's spin it. First ever Wings of Pegasus t-shirt roulette. I need some kind of song or jingle or something for this, but it goes round. is still going round. It seems to be spinning for quite a long time, but we are slowing down. Here we go. And oh, I think the computer wanted to stop, but here we go. It's going through. Is it going to get to Chet? Maybe Patty. It does seem to be going through longer than you think. Maybe Melinda. Maybe even Chris. I do not know. And it is Melinda who has won the first ever Wings of Pegasus signed custom made t-shirt. So congratulations to Melinda. It is your lucky night tonight, and it's the t-shirt's lucky night tonight and Carla's lucky night tonight. But if you can let yourself be known in the live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that Carla can send you off the t-shirt. And I believe that, yeah, with the t-shirt, it might be the case that you have to organise with Carla about the sending of it, because I think it's different to because it's obviously a bigger package, because it's a signed t-shirt. It's something that you'll need to organise with Carla, with giving your address to her, all that kind of stuff. But if you can let yourself be known, that would be much appreciated. I'm looking out for Linda in that live chat room, and I haven't seen her name yet, but please let yourself be known in that live chat room, and that will be sent off to you. So commiserations everybody else who didn't win the t-shirt tonight or the pick tonight. But as I always say, if you want to double your chances of winning, then you can join in with the Saturday night live stream, because we also have a pick roulette then when we hit our pick roulette likes goal for that particular, or the week before. When we hit the goal, we then have the pick roulette the next week. So make sure that you tune in on a Saturday as well to double your chances to get your name on the wheel on Saturdays. So congratulations to Melinda and Carla, and commiserations everybody else. And thankfully it did work. I'm now going to remove everything from the screen, hopefully come back to me. And we are at 7 minutes past 1 here in the UK, and we're looking for 13, I think, 13 more people to hit that thumbs up. So now you can, if you think we're going to hit the pick roulette lights goal within about 7 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. If you do think we're going to hit that target, you can type in the live chat room now, if you want to, I agree, and tag Carla in your message. So tag at Carla Murray is what you want to type, because you can then, if we do hit the target, get your name on next week's wheel, because you can start typing that as soon as we finish the pick roulette for that particular evening's live stream. So that is possible to do now, because what I'm going to do is get the requested Phil tune-up on screen. Then before we finish, I will address the donations in the super chat window, so that we are all fine with that. So thank you guys for those. I have seen them, and we'll address them after this. But we'll have a little look at this real life story before the end of the live stream. And like I said, this is your opportunity to type I agree if you think we're going to get to 310. We need 6 more people. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet in that live chat room, it would be much appreciated, because you could ensure that we have a pick roulette next week. But I'll see you guys after this. Rock.
That sounds absolutely excellent. We'll get the next train down and meet you at the Fox.
What the heck was that all about?
That was the excellent Italian drummer we were hoping to hear from. He loves our songs and can't wait to meet. He's really keen. We're going to London tonight to meet at the Intrepid Fox. We'll get the train. He said he definitely wants the drummer position in the band.
Ruddy heck, that is awesome. Finally, someone keen enough to meet and get things rolling.
I am amazed at how empty this carriage is. It must be a lucky day.
Yes, this is very rare. Normally I would not know where to look and have somebody sneezing and coughing in my face.
Not to mention, of course, the regulation bum guff released into the airtight carriage, making breathing impossible. I'm actually really looking forward to tonight. I think this guy could be the guy we need. From what I've heard, he really wants to be in the band.
Well, certainly the example of him drumming that he sent us wasn't entirely retarded. Finally, it seems our luck is changing.
I definitely think this was a fantastic use of my last £15 of the month. I don't mind being skinned if it means we have a decent drummer.
Yes, I'm certain he will appreciate us spending £15 each, and taking this 2-hour train journey to meet with him.
Precisely. Imagine if this was all for nothing. Ha ha ha. That would be so funny, I would probably guff my own bum.
Ha ha ha, yes indeed. From what he has said, there is no way this could ever end in a slap to the face.
We must be nearly there, as the people are starting to stare at us less and also the women are becoming more attractive.
Yes, you are correct. Here we are. Remember to try to avoid eye contact with the busker just in case. Here we are. I am so excited. I've been waiting for this day all my life, in a way.
I suggest you keep talk like that to a minimum around here. You sound like a hormone sensual, not a metal rock death voodoo punk of death. Let's go inside. Wowzers. Heck, this place looks a lot more realistic on the outside.
Hey there guys, you are looking for me. I think I want to say, are you Phil?
Yes, I am. I recognize that Italian accent. You must be Alessandro.
That is not an Italian accent.
Shut your guff trap, you're breaking the illusion. Right, let's get a proverbial beverage and talk band business.
Sounds good to me.
Well guys, we certainly are having a great luck. And getting on like fantastic chums. I like the vibe we are producing with our verbal interactions.
Can I just say guys, you are amazing. And I would love to join the band. I'm in this for the big time. Whatever it takes.
It's only been 10 minutes, but I think we all want to move in the same direction and get this show on the road.
We've been searching so long, but finally it has paid off. I think there are some great times ahead.
Oh, do shut up. I'm seriously starting to worry about you. Now, let's talk business. Shall we get a rehearsal booked for say 2 weeks' time?
Well, in 2 weeks I'm heading back to Italy. So, that is not too good for me.
Absolutely no problem. When are you back from Italy? We'll organize it for that week.
Yes, the problem is I'm not sure I'm coming back to England.
Ha ha ha. I hope to heck that you are pulling on my proverbials.
No, I'm serious. It is unlikely I'll be coming back.
Heck. Are you actually demented in the head? How the absolute guff are you going to gig with us when you are in a different country?
Oh yes, I can see that will be a problem. I hope I haven't wasted your time.
Oh no, not at all. We love to travel for 2 hours on the train, spending our money on train tickets and a beer for you, just for you to frig us in the guff, right? Well, we are going to leave now for the 2-hour journey back home. I sincerely do hope you get home safely to your flat just around the corner. Come on, let's get the guffing heck out of this vicinity before I lose my temper and tell him to frigging naff off back to Italy.
It's lucky it's all on film, or else nobody would ever believe this actually happened. Unbelievable.
What an absolute waste of time and money. To top it all, I had to spend my last 30 pence at the Paddington toilets. What a rip-off. I can't believe he spun me that guff about wanting to make it big with us. This is the worst day of my life.
And there we have it. That was one of my real life stories, and I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And we have hit our target for the lights goal tonight. Thank you everyone thank you for clicking on that thumbs up. But yes, thank you to all of you for getting us to that target, which means we're going to have a pick roulette next week. And really is the last chance to type I agree and tag Carla Murray's name in there so that you can get your name on next week's Pick Roulette. Anyway, let me just jump into the PayPal window because we did have a few donations in there. And it was Ginny who donated $10. Thank you for that, Ginny. And the message was, Phil, in honor of WLSN and Matrix and other newbies, one of them wants to know what is outside the door. Send more rain, please. Take care. So thank you for that, Ginny. And I think we've mentioned this before, that it's just grass and a path. So that's what's outside the door. It's not very interesting. It's just a small garden. So that is what's out there. If you just imagine a path and some grass going then to the house. So this is a separate entity. So it's going to be separate. So it means that you can make a little bit of noise, but it isn't actually soundproof. It's quite good at keeping the noise in. But as you can see behind me, it's an electric drum kit. We did experiment with an acoustic drum kit, but it was just too loud, as everyone will know. If you've played the drums and those crashes, I mean, the cymbals just absolutely cut through everything. So you really need to be in a soundproof room to just let rip on a real drum kit. So the electric kit's in here, which means that we can just put it into, and when I say we, my dad also comes in here and plays a little bit of guitar and starts to mess around with my amps and changing everything, and then I have to change it back for the videos that I do in the evening. But anyway, yes, so with everything in here, we can pretty much keep it at an acceptable volume. If we were doing things at a ridiculous volume, then probably the neighbors would complain. But everything in here with the drums, we just have it set to a monitor speaker. It's like a PA speaker, so it's pretty loud in terms of, if we really wanted to push the volume through that, we could do, but we just pretty much keep it at a particular level. And this is why when I do show the videos of the live stream gig that I did, that was done in this room, but I put up, black sheets on the wall in order to make it look a little bit better. But for that particular performance, we did have it relatively loud but not too loud, so everything could still be controlled and I could have a bit of an idea of levels, because I couldn't mix it, I couldn't hear it back because I was performing, so I had to try and just guess as to where the levels should be, and that's what I did for that particular live stream gig. So yeah, it was good to be able to put the drums and the amps and everything through a mixer and look on the screen as to where the levels were hitting and try and guesstimate what it would sound like on the other side. But anyway, thank you for that, and just want to make sure I don't miss anything out here. So Black Veil Brides Fan 96 has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, what's your opinion on Matthias Jabs of Scorpions? He is criminally underrated. Or Matthias Jabs. That would be more suitable, especially with the current situation in the world. But yes, I mean, Scorpions is one of those bands that I didn't get into until quite a lot later. When I say getting into them, I didn't listen to a lot of their music, but I did have mentioned on the live streams before about when I would go out with Griff and would go out on a Friday night. We'd go to rock clubs in London and there'd always be a bit of Scorpions being played, and pretty much everybody would get on the dance floor. This is it, those kind of clubs. When I put in about the people looking at you less in the previous thing that I just played, the Italian, when I mentioned about that, people look at you less the closer to London you get, because you get closer to these kind of clubs where you have a lot more hardcore kind of metalers than myself and Griff, and they'd be wearing, leather and tight leather and that kind of stuff, and maybe a bit of a punk hairdo. I mean, my look's probably quite understated for some of the looks that you have going on there. But anyway, like I said, when we got over to the clubs over in London and pretty much Tottenham Court Road, around that kind of area, you'd hear all of the songs like Scorpions. I mean, Rocky Like a Hurricane. That was one that would pop up all the time, and I think that was one of those that was requested probably the most from Scorpions. But I mean, thinking about Dokken, thinking about Lynch Mob as well occasionally. And it tended to not be the fact that you got a lot of Bon Jovi and, more the mainstream kind of rock and hard rock from the 80s, maybe more so Guns N' Roses. They had that edge to them, but certainly, more of the, I'd say, like Rat, like more of the unknown bands. So you got, Scorpions, Rat, Dokken, Lynch Mob. Who else do I say? I mean, Guns N' Roses, they're a lot more well known, but they were the same kind of music. So those are the kind of songs that were being played at the clubs that myself and Griff went to. Obviously now I probably don't look too much different, but Griff looks a lot more different now. But back in the day, Griff had bleached blonde hair, probably similar length to mine, if not a bit longer, and quite wavy. So we certainly looked the part when we went out on a Friday night. But I didn't really know about Scorpions too much before getting out there and listening to, or at least hearing their songs and checking them out then when I got home. But certainly lots of other bands, White Lion as well, maybe, that kind of thing. Cinderella, there's another band that would have been played. But I'm just trying to think of more obscure bands that maybe got played at those clubs but didn't get as well known. And that's where Winger weren't seen as cool as the other bands, so you wouldn't really get too much Winger being played, but I would go and request it anyway. Let me stop just naming 80s bands like hard rock and metal, but certainly a lot of those bands did pop up. But anyway, thank you for that, Black Veil Brides fan 96. And Jan has donated 200 Norwegian kroner, so thank you for that, Jan. A very kind donation, and the message is, small fingers just needs a shorter neck to stretch as far as you want, ? With a smiley face. So thank you for that, Jan. And the thing about these smaller necks is that when you get to 3/4 size, you can just about get away with that. That's something that Ed Sheeran does with his acoustic guitar. But if you're now talking about half-size guitars, keeping the tuning accurate is quite difficult, because I used to work in a guitar shop. I used to teach in a guitar shop. I didn't used to work there. Technically, I was working on the premises, but I was teaching people how to play the guitar. And when somebody didn't turn up, I'd then have a little bit of time to check out different makes of guitars and just play them. So that's exactly what I would do in my time off, and I'd mess around with the half-size guitars, the 3/4 size guitars. But I found that the half-size guitars was really difficult to keep that accuracy. The intonation would go off quite regularly, so I found that the 3/4 size guitars were better for that. But I still just prefer to play a full-size guitar and just work my way around the techniques rather than go for a smaller guitar. And I know that, if you are making a lot of money, then you can maybe have your own guitars made personally for you. But I've just played the standard size guitars because I'm not a short person. I'm about 180 centimeters. It just so happens that my hands are relatively small, so it means that I can still play the guitar normally. I'm sure that for a lot shorter people, they've probably got more problems than I have in terms of playing a full-size guitar, but I don't have too many problems. I think I can still pretty much get away with it. I'm just complaining about nothing. There are ways for me to work my way around it. It's just that when you get guys who are a lot taller and have a much wider hand span, it means that they don't actually say, having said that, Buckethead who's a guitarist that I did an analysis video on years ago, but he has his guitars made larger because he is so, I mean, I think he's 6'5", maybe a little bit taller than that, but also has a massive handspan. His hands are just huge. So he's had to make the guitar bigger for his hands, because there's your perfect example of about playing your own way and just playing for your own genetics, because he's had his guitar made larger. But yeah, some people made their guitars made smaller as well. But anyway, thank you for that, Jan. And Jen has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Jen. The message is, have you ever thought of doing a walk about your town so we can see the locals, etc., with an inquisitive face? So thank you for that, Jen. It wouldn't be very interesting just walking around my town. There's no music that happens, so I couldn't really check out any music. And yeah, just walking around at the moment. I guess there are a few people out, but because of COVID, they're probably wearing masks. I'm not sure how interesting that would be, just to look at Maidenhead. I think I'm not sure how I could make that interesting, but thank you for that, Jen. And Wizard of Frobos has donated $5 as well. Again, thank you for that. And the message is, I had a mini electric and yes, it went out of tune if someone opened a door or I started playing it. So thank you for that. And that was just the problem that I found when I was messing around with those types of guitars in the shops, those slightly smaller sized, or yeah, just the intonation and just the out of tune. I think actually just keeping it in tune, first of all. And by the way, when I say intonation, it means that when you play a string and then you play the 12th fret on a guitar, you should get the exact same note but a perfect octave higher. And when the intonation is out, it means that that note is slightly flat or sharp when you get to the 12th fret. It isn't a true reflection of where the middle of the string is, so you then have to go through a few adjustments to make sure that you can then sort that out. But that is just what I found when I played on the slightly smaller guitars. But anyway, it is almost 1:30 here in the morning, so we're going to have to call it a day for today, or call it a night for tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in to this live stream, but just the channel in general, and hitting that thumbs up and subscribing as well, hitting that bell to get notified for the videos. That's what you have to do in order to make sure that you don't miss a video, don't miss a live stream, and the other videos that we have, such as the June Millington video, which I will be doing relatively soon. Just make sure you're subscribed and you hit that notification bell so that you get all of the videos that I release here on the channel. But thank you guys for joining me tonight, and let's have a quick look into that live chat room before we finish. We have Linda Z in the house, we have Jan and Deborah and Shan and Brian and Matrix X as well. Just going through. It says, Phil, have you ever played a double neck guitar? No, I haven't, not that I can remember. Orlando has said Whitesnake. That must be answering something. But yeah, Whitesnake, another band that got regularly played down at the club. And yeah, especially let me think, probably Still of the Night. That is probably, I know that they played a lot of Whitesnake, but probably Still of the Night was the one that came up most and got everybody onto the dance floor. But anyway, and when I say dance floor, I'm not sure how much dancing really went on, because it's not as if, you know, they're doing a foxtrot or something. So yeah, at least it got everybody on the dance floor. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight, and thank you for the donations. And I just want to make sure that I do address everything that's happened. I'm just going to do a quick refresh to make sure that everything has been addressed in the PayPal window, which it has. So thank you guys for those donations and those super chat donations as well. And the software worked. And congratulations to Carla as well, moderator, who has won a signed Wings of Pegasus pick. And congratulations to Melinda as well, who got the t-shirt tonight. So anyway, I'm going to be back with another video tomorrow night, Wednesday night. That's going to be an analysis video. And I'm going to be back for a live stream on Saturday night. There's another analysis video on Friday. But if you guys want to get involved over on Patreon, then you can do. Let me just pop that up before the end of the live stream. That's the site that you want to go to in order to get all of the updates and get the news before I release it or mention it on the live streams. So anyway, that is the site that you'll need to navigate to support the channel as well. I always say it's the foundation of my channel, and thank you guys so much for your support over on Patreon. So have a great rest of the week, guys. I will see you tomorrow night for the analysis video. Hopefully I see you Saturday night. Hopefully I'll see you next week as well for another pick roulette, and we've got another pick roulette on Saturday, so tune in for that. But I will catch you guys at the next one. Stay safe. Follow your government's guidelines, wear those masks and all that kind of stuff, and I will see you in the comment section of the analysis video tomorrow night.